The beer market in India is around 444 billion rupees and is going to almost double by 2033. But this market has always been dominated by Kingfisher. Kingfisher has even captured more than 50% of the Indian beer market consistently in the last 10 years with their iconic beers. Kingfisher had become the go-to brand for anybody looking to have beer in India. Well, until this new age brand entered in 2015. Bira went from nothing to becoming India's fourth largest beer company in just 10 years. They revolutionized the entire market with their colorful branding and a completely fresh approach, and even reached a valuation of 5,000 crores. But suddenly, Bira started disappearing from the shelves. The brand was becoming extremely popular among the youth and suddenly is nowhere to be found. What exactly happened to Bira? Where did they go wrong? And are they going to make a comeback? Ankur Jain completed his bachelor's in the US. There he was introduced to the craft beer culture and he loved it. But what's a craft beer? Craft beers are basically non-mechanized beers made in small breweries in a traditional way. This trend started when people began to enjoy drinking beer and wanted to know exactly what ingredients went into their beer and where it came from. It was very different from what Indian consumers were used to. At that time, only mass manufactured beers were available here in India, and nobody really knew what ingredients went into making these beers. After returning back to India, Ankur started Serena Beverages in 2009 and imported premium craft beers from Belgium, Germany, and United States. He initially started selling in Delhi, Mumbai, and Bengaluru, and the youngsters here loved it. Ankur noticed the huge gap in the market. India's beer market was dominated by strong beers like Kingfisher, Hayward's, and Tuborg. These were high in alcohol and tasted very bitter. Every company was just focused on getting people drunk and no one really cared about the drinking experience. There was no product differentiator at all. Every bottle was the same. India's growing middle class and aspirational youth needed something different. On one side, there was this cheap and strong beer, and on the other side, expensive imported beers. Nothing in between. Ankur saw a potential for craft beers in India's growing beer market. He saw that Indian consumers are ready to pay slightly more for the taste, quality, and unique experience. After spending time understanding the market and taking many trips to Europe to test out the different exotic beers, in 2015, Ankur raised $1 million from his college friends and launched his own bottled craft beer under the name Bira 91. Branding, design, and marketing. Simply having a good product is not enough to stand out in a crowded market. Sure, your product may taste different and have completely different ingredients. But how does the customer know this without tasting your product? Well, that's where product packaging comes in. Product packaging isn't just wrapping your product in a good looking wrapper. It's like the thumbnails here on YouTube. They kind of tell you what the video is about. Initially, the brand was named Biru, the generic name for beer in Japan. But after a registration problem in Japan, Ankur decided to call it Bira, which means big brother in Punjabi. And 91 is the country code of India, and it made sound everything distinctive. His team spent almost 9 months in branding the product, choosing the right color and picking a name and a mascot. The reverse B in their logo showed a spirit of rebellion against the conventional beers available in the market. And the monkey mascot represented fun and mischief. This perfectly captured the target audience's mindset. Everything about Bira's design, the color, the font made it look premium quality. According to Ankur Jain, most of their early success with Bira was because of the design and packaging of the product. Bira initially launched 2 flavors, White Ale and Blonde Lager. White Ale was a different wheat beer with no bitterness and soft finish. It was a bit sweeter and had more citrus flavor than normal beers. But people don't really like change, and introducing such a different taste can even backfire on you sometimes. So they launched their Blonde Lager that had a very similar taste to the conventional beer taste that most people were used to. Bira 91 was selling beers that were never seen before in the market. But they didn't want to follow the normal marketing technique of using surrogate ads. You see, direct alcohol ads are banned in India. So alcohol companies usually advertise as CDs, water and soda bottles. Bira didn't want to do this, so they focused only on distribution. They simply made the product available in a few pubs. The rest was left to the people who gave really good response to the product. After that, it was all word of mouth publicity. Bira directly targeted young urban consumers who were digitally savvy and looking for premium experiences. Over 60% of the core consumer base is under 35, mostly in metro cities and tier 1 cities. So, Bira actively engaged with this audience through music festivals, pop-up events and collaborations. Because of this, they gained 30% market share in premium segment without spending anything on traditional marketing. In just a few months, they started manufacturing units in Maharashtra and Rajasthan. In 2016, Bira sold 35,000 cases of beer per month and also expanded its base to Mumbai, Bangalore, Kolkata, Pune and Chandigarh. They had penetration of 70% in all their markets. By 2023, they were making a revenue of 824 crore rupees, selling 9 million cases across 18 countries. But in mid-2024, Bira bottles started disappearing from the market because of a small decision. Downfall. Bira's parent company, B9 Beverages Private Limited, planned to go public and issue an IPO in 2026. So, they made a small change and dropped the word private from their name. But this small change created a huge mess. Because alcohol rules in India vary from state to state, each state treated the new name as a brand new company. That meant Bira had to re-register all its products and labels in every market. Bira had to stop selling completely while getting new approvals. This sales freeze lasted 4 to 6 months in some major markets. Old stock worth 80 crores had to be written off because the labels didn't match the new name. Distributors stopped making payments and retailers started replacing Bira with other brands. Sales dropped from 9 million cases in 2023 to just 7 million in 2024. Revenue fell by 22% to 638 crores and losses shot up to 748 crores, which is more than their total revenue. Big markets like Delhi and Andhra Pradesh, which made up over 1/3 of their sales, became completely unreachable. Competitors like Simba, Being and Whitehall jumped in and quickly grabbed the shelf space and customers. The name change, which may have seemed like a routine corporate structuring, triggered a huge loss for the company. But Bira is fighting back. They are still determined to issue an IPO in 2026 if everything goes right. As of July 2025, markets like Delhi and Uttar Pradesh are back online, thanks to fresh licenses and new manufacturing partnership. Bira is now planning to raise 500 crores of structured debt deal from BlackRock. The plan is to use that money to buy out early investors and get some much needed working capital. On top of that, they have already raised big investments from Kin Holdings and Sequoia Capital. Bira is also investing over 200 crores to establish their own brewery in UP. This will strengthen local manufacturing and improve profitability. The company is aiming to double its production capacity in 2025 and is expanding its distribution network to over 600 towns and 20 countries. Do you think Bira can make a comeback after their dramatic journey? Let us know in the comments below. If you found this case study insightful, please hit the like button and subscribe for more such in-depth case studies and business stories. See you in the next one. Bye-bye.